Following is analysis of Miss Scolio's freestyle. So we see she does a great job of getting up off the blocks, but I really like to see her use her arms to launch herself forward. Make sure she's really grabbing onto them, not with that loose grip. Additionally, we see that she does perhaps a few too many dolphin kicks here. She loses a lot of speed on those last 2 or 3 kicks. I really like to see her transition into a freestyle kick, maybe 3 or 4 kicks before that, and break out with more power and speed. One thing that she really needs to work on is making sure that she bends her elbows on every stroke on her recovery. As we can see, she does so sometimes, but she's very inconsistent. We also want to make sure that when we take a breath, we don't allow it to disrupt our stroke timing at all. So we can see that when she takes a breath, her head swings way back to the other side, and we want to make sure we keep that head steady and high in the water. Off of the turn, we want to make sure that we flip over flat on our back, keep our feet shoulder width apart, and then push off flat on our back so that we kick ourselves onto our stomach and do not waste time flipping over onto our stomach on the wall before we push off. That'll save us a tenth or two. We want to make sure we transition into that freestyle kick before we break out. Also, we don't want to breathe on the first stroke off the wall. The fastest 2 points we'll have in the race will be off of the start and off of the turn. So when we take a breath on the first stroke off the wall, we lose the top speed and that momentum that we previously had. Need to make sure we're working on the bent elbow recovery. We have good body position and pretty good head position. We like to keep those eyes near the bottom of the pool. This is underwater analysis of Miss Scolio's freestyle. So as we can see, she's a little bit deep here, and what we'd like to see her do is when she starts to get to this point and she can feel herself getting to be too deep, we really like to see her try to bend her streamline back this way, banana back up, so that she doesn't continue quite so deeply on the start. If we do a better job of this, we'll get up to the water sooner and she won't have to break that head out of her streamline to get up faster. We want to keep those eyes down on the bottom of the pool and our head in a good body position, or excuse me, in a good neutral position, so that we don't have all of this area right here that we're catching water in and slowing us down. Alright, additionally, we want to make sure we're not dropping our elbows at all when we swim freestyle. We want to be swimming with as much power as possible. As we can see here, our elbow is really dropping below our hand. So we always want to make sure that our hand and our arm and our elbow is more like this. That's going to allow us to catch water through this entire part of our arm. But right now, because she's dropping her elbow, she's really only catching water with this part of her arm, and the rest of the water is slipping off of her arm. We can see here it's not until she gets to this part of the stroke that she starts to catch any water on the bottom part of that arm. We want to make sure that we maintain maximum power and efficiency in our stroke by not dropping that elbow on the underwater recovery. See, good hip rotation, good body position. Okay, excellent job. Once we get to this point, we want to push off flat on our back. We don't want to roll that extra couple degrees onto our stomach before we push off. That's just wasted time. We can kick our way onto our stomach later. Additionally, I'd really like to see her transition into some freestyle kicks from the butterfly kicks before her to break out with more power and smoothness. You can see here right here we can see how when she keeps her elbow down, she has a much stronger, or she has a much wider range that she can pull with her arm. So keeping that elbow down is essential for her swimming with power. Lastly, we want to make sure that we keep that thumb tucked on the pole. We don't want to see our thumb come away from the hand. We want to make sure that we have one solid paddle with which to swim through the water to maintain maximum power.